Hey, what's going on, guys? It's been quite some time since I made a video. So I wanted to just make a video for you guys today. Now, if you guys haven't watched my previous video, which is winning trades is overrated, then you need to make sure you watch that. It goes over my entire process, how to utilize the checklist, how to be process oriented, how I use the higher time frames to understand the bias, etc., etc. Make sure you watch that video, right? Because it's really going to give you an understanding of what I'm doing, and it's going to help you to build a system. Even if you don't trade how I trade, that's perfectly fine. It will help you, better define how you do trade, right? And it will keep you process oriented. So please make sure you guys watch that video. So now just going on the trades that I took today, I only took one trade, but I want to kind of just show you guys um how I got this bias for this trade and what I was looking for. Okay. So if you look at the monthly time frame, clearly we're in a bull trend. If you look at more recently, clearly we're in this bullish spike, right? If you go to the weekly time frame, clearly you can see that we are in just simply right, kind of like this bull channel here, right? And on the weekly level, we have our bullish retest level. Okay, so if you know how the market moves, you have a breakout of a level, then you have a retest of that level, then you have continuation. So here you can see we had the breakout out of our level, and then here you can see now we're getting the retest, right? So at this point, I'm looking for some sort of lower time frame confirmation to see that, hey, we are actually going to continue, right? So now that that's drawn for you guys, I'll just let you guys take a look at this. And how I created this narrative was based off of the hourly time frame. Okay. So you can obviously see that, we have been trending down, right? You can see here that we broke through out of this level and then we retested it here. And then you can see that we broke out of this level and then we retested and then we continued and then we broke out of this level. And what happens? We get no continuation at all. And that signals a change in the trend. And you can see here, I'm going to delete these, that we then have our change in character, aka our market structure shift, right? We go from bearish, producing lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, to all of a sudden, whoa, we have a higher high. Now, if a bull trend is going to form here, what needs to happen? Right? What needs to happen here is that we have to put in a higher low. It has to hold, and then it has to take out this level here. Right? So this was a beautiful, beautiful trade setup yesterday. This is not the one I took, but I'm just kind of telling you how I come to my analysis of understanding where price may go. Okay, so this is now a market structure shift on the hourly time frame. Okay, that now helps us understand, hey, if this shifts and continues up, right, and pushes back above this retest level, right, we may now go and target these weekly highs. Okay, so let me draw this for you here. So this is going to be your weekly all-time high here, and then this is going to be your retest level, and which would mean that January has a high probability of closing on its high on the monthly time frame. So because we know that, right? Now that doesn't mean I wasn't shorting this down, right? Because I was. Right, if price wants to correct on the weekly or monthly, I'll still take these little 1 hour, 4 hour trades because there's still high probability because you know that the weekly is correcting. But now that price has shifted, we now know that price most likely wants to take out this weekly high, right? We're also now breaking back above that retest level, which is signs of strength. So you can see here that the trade that I played for today, and again, I'll delete this retest level because you guys should just know that it's here, and I'll keep this red line. I'll put this as green so you guys have it as a target here, right? So now here is our target, right? Where I think price will go. And all I did today was just play the 1 hour lower time frame retest, right? And that's the beautiful thing about utilizing these higher time frames is if you know where price wants to go on the weekly, the monthly, or the daily, then all your job to do is just to come in on the 4 hour or the 1 hour and play these break and retest continuations to ride it to target, right? So step one of our checklist, right? And you can see our checklist. If you want, guys, our checklist is right here. So daily 4 hour, 1 hour retest. Did we get a retest after a breakout? Yes. This here is our 1 hour retest in line with the overall trend. Okay. Now let's go back. Now, do we have a lower time frame break, retest, and continuation? All right. So what I do is I go to the 5 or the 15-minute time frame, and all I'm looking for is signs that price is bullish. Now, I'm going to give you guys a very, very, very good analogy because I think this will make a lot of sense. Okay. So think about it like this. If you guys are going on a first date, do you ask the person, will you marry me on the first date? Of course not. Right. And that's how I see this. This first touch of the retest level is simply the first date. It's a tell to my mind that, hey, there's potential here. Okay. But I'm not popping the question yet. Will you marry me? Because we don't know enough about this person and we haven't spent enough time with them. Right. And what I mean by that is look at this. You have a lower high, lower high, lower high. There's nothing in here that says green flag. Okay. All this was push to our retest level. We don't have enough information. We don't know enough about this person to be able to pop the question. Okay. Until all of a sudden, right? Because keep in mind, our bias is that we're going to take out these highs, right? We're going to take out these highs, and this high here, this high is simply the previous day high that we already took out. Right? But simply, I want to see a change in structure. Okay. So the first thing we see here is our change or our market structure shift. Lower high. Let me mark this out for you guys. I want to make sure you guys really see this. Lower high, lower high, lower high. All of a sudden, we get a what? A higher high. This high breaks above that. That's our first green flag, right? Because if we want to marry this person, right? If we want a wife or a husband, then we need green flags, right? So let's say, getting to this level is being married. Right, we need green flag. So what do we need to see on the green flag? Well, for one, I need to see these lower highs are broken. Because if price wants to get back here, there has to be lower highs broken. This is kind of what I talk about in my Discord, is you have to think about it logically. To ask yourself, hey, if we're going to go higher, what do we need to see? And what we need to see is bearish price action taken out. If bearish price action is not taken out, then we can never go higher. So there's no justifiable reason to go long. Right? So first thing I see here is we break this lower high and we go higher. That's a green flag. Now we still don't have enough information to pop the question. We still need to really get to know this person for a year or two. We need to be able to understand how they deal with stress, their morals, their values, this is going to be your partner in life, right? So you need to get more information. You don't just pop the question because, maybe they're funny, right? So now we have another pullback and then we have another higher high, right? So now we went from lower high, lower high, lower high to breaking this level and producing a higher high, pulling back down, breaking back above that level, right? And you can see here that we're now putting in higher lows. Right? These are all green flags. We went from putting lower highs and lower lows, lower highs and lower lows, to higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and now we're breaking back above bullish. Okay? So as soon as I see this, I like what I see. I targeted yesterday's high because that's obviously where price is going on the daily time frame. Like here, you might target these highs, and sometimes it's best to target the highs that are closer. I agree. But, because the context is so fantastic, right? And that we're going to, this bull bar is forming up, because I know that the weekly time frame just had a pullback and most likely is going to target this, which means that most likely the monthly is going to close on its high. I'm very confident and just targeting the most logical level, which is going to be that um that previous day high, right? And now, right now that we're getting these higher highs, right? Again, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? And we're breaking back above. I now like this long a lot, and I'm simply going for a one-to-one restore where my exact setup was actually right here. As you can see, we broke the high, pulled back, and we retested and rebroke it. So my entry was right above this level. And this was my trade for the day. Very, very simple, guys. And this is why I love one-to-one risk reward, because if I was going for 1-2 or 1-3, I would have had to try to like get in way down here to justify the 1-2. And right. And it's very difficult to do because, you know, if I was to enter here, I didn't even get the market structure shift yet. And, you know, there's some entries or methods that I'm sure exist that would justify some entry down here. But I find a lot of times that, you know, the more information I get with the one-to-one, the better. And, you know, this month has shown it. I've had very, very high win rate this month. And that's why I love one-to-one, right? You can get the most amount of information with a one-to-one. And your stop loss is way further than most entry models. And it's very easy to take these higher time frame levels. But again, that's my psychology, my personality. You can do what you want with this. If you want to just, you know, get in on the first market structure shift or the first pullback after the market structure shift to try to manipulate it, that's fine. But that's just not what I do. Okay. So now we got our lower time frame break, retest, and continuation. Now, excuse me. Now, once the trade is placed, don't touch it. And that's exactly what I did, right? Once the trade was placed, I simply did not touch the trade. Let it played out, and boom, right? We took our one trade per day, and that was that. Now, these are evals because I accidentally held the trade through news on my Take Profit Trader accounts. So I lost them. I was still able to take a pad on them, but I lost them, which sucks. So now I'm just rebuilding. The next week or two will be, you know, trading all fundeds because I think I'm only like a couple $100 from passing this one now. And then I'll give you guys an update on the fundeds. But right now we're just trading these evals, trying to build back our portfolio after losing, you know, some accounts on Take Profit Trader. So, yep, just one trade per day. The PA max daily loss, so it's not a PA. So this is checked too. And that's it, guys. And you can see how I used that higher time frame bias to create my sense of where the market's going, utilizing the higher time frame daily for 1 hour retest, and then using that 5-minute and 15-minute, just watching the structure shift to go long, and then simply targeting the most logical area as well. So super, super simple. If you guys have any other questions, I'll see you in the Discord.